Welcome class 5. Welcome class 5 for and I hope my voice is clear to you. Today we will take the amazing animals and as in my video the first part I have already taken, and today I'll take the second part. Just to refresh your mind, I will explain and I will discuss with you what is habitat. Do you know what is habitat? The natural surrounding in which the animals live, that is called the habitat. So now the natural surrounding, you will say everywhere is the natural surrounding. Some specific animals are especially living in a special regions or the special areas. Just like you can take the example of the fishes, they always live in the water. If we will take out them from the water, they will die, and we are living in the land. If somebody will take us inside the water, after some time we will die, isn't it? So this is the natural habitat, because their body features, their organs are being developed to that system. They are specific for some kind of reasons. That is the thing. When forcefully we are taking the bear in the land, and we are taking camels from the deserted area to the plain area, that time after some time they become diseased and they become die, isn't it? So this is the natural surrounding in which a particular animal can survive. So we know what is forest. Forest is a large area where variety of the plants and trees we can see. Desert are the place where the sands are usually found, whereas polar region are the very specific, they are very cold mountainous region where yak and polar bear, they are having the natural habitat, whereas in the ocean variety of the animals we can find. I have discussed all this in my last chapter. Now there is adaptation in the animal. So what is adaptation? Now we will talk about the adaptation. What is adaptation? Adaptation of animals. So adaptation means according to the surrounding, according to the need. When an animal is adopting some kind of special features within them, that is called the adaptation. As I previously I have discussed with you that just like the fishes, they respire from the water, because oxygen is being dissolved in the water, and they are taking oxygen from the water, dissolved oxygen from the water, and they are giving out carbon dioxide in the water. So this way we can say that in this way they are taking oxygen from the water, and they are giving out the carbon dioxide in the water. So this is a way where they are adopted gills for their respiration, whereas an animal which is living on the land, they are adopted lungs to take the air from the atmosphere and from the air. They cannot take the dissolved oxygen which is inside the water. Understood? So these are the adaptation. Secondly, you can see the camels who are adopted the deserted life. They are having the special organs. They are having padded feet. So these padded feet are helpful. They are having, these padded feet are having a larger area, and the larger area of the feet make them swift when they are walking on the sand. And secondly, if you will walk in the sand wearing the pointed heels, it will be easy? No. That's why these camels are having the padded feet, which keep them away from the heat, as well as it is easy for them to walk in the sand. Secondly, their eyelashes are so denser, so that these eyelashes are also adaptation for the sand, specifically for the sand, because when the storms are there, storms are there, that time they are protecting their eyes from the sand or from this sand, their eyes are protected from the sand. Secondly, their legs are, if we'll see the another features, their legs are too long, so they are keeping their body away from the sand. So this is also an adaptation. Okay, so these are the organ adaptation. Now the natural adaptation or the body covering, we will talk about the body covering. First one, we will take the scales. So this body covering is also keep them safe from the other animal, and this body covering of the animals are according to their requirement and according to their need. So the first covering is the scales. So if we'll talk about the scales, scales are the body covering of the fishes or the reptiles. Okay, scales. If we'll talk about the scales, if we'll see the fishes body is covered by the scales. And if you want to catch any kind of fish, if you want to catch a fish, what happens? It slide away from our hand, isn't it? They slide away from our hand. Why? Because there's these scales are very slimy in nature, and they are very slimy in nature. They easily slide away from our hand. So they are protecting them from the predator, as well as these scales are not allowing the water to enter inside their body, and they are keeping their body safe from the entrance of the water also. By this way, these fishes are safe inside the water, because scale or the outer covering of the scales make them safe. Secondly, if we'll see the shrimps which are living in the water, their shrimps scales are very hard and they are also protected. But in case of the reptiles, if we'll talk about the reptiles, so what are the reptiles? Crocodiles are the reptiles, snakes are the reptiles, as well as the tortoise, as well as we will talk about the wall lizard. These lizards are also reptiles. So how they are helpful for the reptiles? Actually, in reptiles, somewhere in crocodiles, alligator, you will see their scales are very horny. So they are protecting for their skin. Okay, they are the protector of the skin. But in case of the snakes, they help these scales for the movement. So the snakes take the help of the, or the scales are helpful for their movement. Understood? And the wall lizards, they are having also the scales. Their scales are very shiny and very small. They are also protecting their soft skin, which is inside the scale. Okay, so these scales are very protective in nature. They are protecting the animal, and these are the body covering. Next one is the shell. Shell is, have you seen the snail? I hope you have seen the snail, tortoise, these all. So these, yes, somebody has written padded means godi. Okay, when we are keeping some plump thing within our hand, that means we are making our hand plump, or that is paddy. That means their skin is within that pad, and it is making the thing safe. Okay, now okay, next one is the shell. So snail, tortoise, turtle, they have the hard shell, and this shell are, don't confuse, this is not their exoskeleton, and these shells are not actually skeleton. These are specific calcareous body, or these are specific calcareous structure which protect the soft body of the snail, soft body of the tortoise or the turtle when they are moving and from the predator, because their shells are actually very hard to break and not easily. They are just away. They are protecting them from the heat, from the cold, from the water, from everything they are protecting. And when these animals feel any kind of danger, they withdraw their body inside the cell. So by this way, these shells are helpful for protecting them within the harsh and cold weather, as well as from anywhere. Okay, next one is the feather. We know feathers are a specific character of birds, isn't it? So what are the features? Why we know birds are very light in weight, their bones are hollow in nature, they do not possess any bone marrow, and they are very light in nature. So how the feathers help them? Feathers help them for taking flight, and feathers help them to keep their body warm. So how they are keeping their body warm? As we know, feathers trap the atmospheric air, and this trapping of air making the whole body insulating. Understood? Insulation means just like the casserole or the hot pot, when you are keeping anything, that means that casserole system is also a insulating system. That means the casserole do not allow anything, any air to enter inside the casserole, so the things become hot. Whatever, in which condition, cold means cold and hot, hot or cold, anything which whatever you are keeping inside the casserole, they will as such, because it will not affected by the outer atmospheric air. Understood? So this system they create within their body by the help of the feather. So the feathers are just trapping some air and making their body insulating from the harsh weather or from the cold weather. So these feathers are keeping the body warm inside the feather. Have you noticed that in the cold season or the winter seasons, the bird seems as that they become little bit fat. So that is actually not fat. They plump their feathers. They try to just make their feather, inside their feathers they have been trapped the air to make their body warm inside. Understood? So this is the way they make their self warm inside the feather. Next one is the fur or wool. We know animals who are living in the hilly regions, and somewhere when they are living in the hilly regions, or when they are living in the some of the hilly regions, or when they are living in the cold regions. So in the North Pole, or some in the Himalayan region, in the lower Himalayas, anywhere where the weather is very cold. In those area you will see the animals having the long hairs, or they are having the fur or the long hairs. Even the polar bears having the thick layer of the fur or the coat. You can say rabbit are having the fur, as well as the sheep and this yak, they are having the long hairs. Even camel is having scarcely hair. So these animals are especially made reside in the coldy region or in the cold region. Okay, so in this cold regions, these are protecting them from the cold, and the yak and this sheep, their hair is being cut down to make wool. Okay, so these are actually very warm in nature. Even from this hair we also make the wool, and these wool are protecting us also in the plain in the winter season. Next one is the camouflage. What is camouflage? Some animals like tiger, zebra, grasshopper can merge their self within the surrounding. So merging themselves within the surrounding means they change their color, their body color become changes depending on the surrounding. Whatever the surrounding, their body color is also merges with that surrounding, so that they can protect themselves from the predator, as well as they can change their self, or they can protect themselves from the poachers. And some animals protect their self being hunted. Okay, so these all are the animals who can do the camouflage are tiger, zebra and the grasshopper. Have you seen when the grasshopper sit on the grass, and when they sit on the leaves, their color become changes into green color. And just like the chameleon, when they are in the garden, you can easily watch or observe their color. When they are on the soil, that time their color changes into soil color or the brownish color. When they are on the tree bark, their color is brown the same, but when they are on the greener part, their color changes into green. So this is the color change according to the surrounding. Maybe the color is not promptly changed, but the color change gradually. Okay, so by this way they can change their color, and so nobody can spot them, and some the poachers or the hunters, they can protect themselves from those persons, even they cannot poach them, or the illegal hunting. Some animals like chameleon can even change the color to match the surroundings. So these all are the camouflage, and camouflage is a process all animals cannot do, but few animals can do it. Okay, now next one is the feeding habit. We will talk about the feeding habit. So the feeding habit is actually herbivores, carnivores, or the omnivores. Herbivores are the animals who eat only the plant and the plant products, whereas omnivores eat both flesh as well as the plant product, and these carnivores hunt others, and they are feeding only the only the fleshes or the meat of the other animal. So these all we will discuss in the next class, as well as I would like to just complete the chapter in my next class. I will try to I don't think 2 more classes will take to complete the class. So that's all for the day, and you just go through the all content and do these 2 multiple choices questions. We will do it tomorrow because it is not given for the thing. Okay, now that's all for the day. Have a nice day. Please give your attendance. That is very compulsory because I have to take your attendance. Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day.